Wondering how many guidance counselors there are per student in city schools? Don't ask the Department of Education.
No, it's not something that we have calculated on a regular basis. That might be a really helpful measure for us, but we haven't looked at the ratio in the past.
Would you agree that in many elementary schools the ratio is 1,000 to 1?
Since we haven't calculated, I couldn't say.
That's the head of the DOE's new Office on Guidance and Counseling, testifying before the City Council. The Council is considering a bill that would at least require the DOE to calculate and report on the number of guidance counselors in each school. Counselors aren't required at all in elementary schools, and middle and high schools are required to have just one, whether the school serves 400 or 4,000. Fort Hamilton High School has 4,000 students. But senior Yujan Liu says there's just 2 college counselors.
I'm a new immigrant. I cannot get the support from my home because my parents cannot speak English. So I have to resort to the school. But the school, there's only a few counselors who can available to help the students.
But elsewhere, like at the Brooklyn School for Collaborative Studies, administrators have made major investments in counseling. For the 700 students, there are 3 guidance counselors, up to 8 graduate-level counseling interns, 2 social workers, and several dedicated community volunteers. A brand new college advising office with laptops and a library was donated by Capital One.
That is largely the exception. I think that for the most part, the kids who need this support and advocacy the most are the kids who get it the least. And I think that's a real challenge. I think it's a real problem. But it's also a real opportunity for growth.
But the first step remains figuring out just how many guidance counselors there are at each school and how many students each one is responsible for seeing. In Carroll Gardens, Lindsay Christ, New York 1.